mean, I have no idea what Robin was pushing Kody to do, and I think it's a shame if Kody could be that controlled by Robin that he would try to stay in a relationship, that wasn't working. But if she has that much control over him, that's great. They can have that.
Janelle was on fire this episode, and I absolutely loved it. Her comment about Robin controlling Kody, chef's kiss. You could practically feel the shade as she dropped that line, knowing full well it would drive both of them crazy. Kody and Robin love to preach that nobody controls Kody and he's the head of the family, so Janelle's timing was perfection. It was a pure gotcha moment. Remember when Kody admitted that Robin pressured him into staying with Mary, and that if it weren't for her, he would have ended it sooner? Yeah, Janelle wasn't about to let that slide. She knew exactly how to twist the knife, and I bet Kody was fuming afterward. Maybe, just maybe, reality started to settle in. Kody, my guy, you're controlled by your shy, pretty wife. Bet that stings. And then Janelle hit us with the ultimate zinger. I don't think anyone is really thinking about Kody and Robin. Oh, how tragic. Too bad, so sad. It's honestly hilarious how Kody and Robin keep telling on themselves. But this season, finally, the other wives are starting to call them out on it. They've been holding on to this for a while, and I'm here for it. I don't expect this kind of truth to come from whatever half-hearted tell-all we'll probably get, but it's refreshing to watch Janelle take her shots when she can. Janelle knew that comment would mess with Kody. She's been around the block with him enough to know exactly which buttons to push. He's been pushing her buttons for years, so this is a little tit for tat. Kody, your ex-wives no longer have to protect your secrets. Ain't it beautiful? What a lot of people miss about this show, and what makes it so compelling, is that a lot of the drama with the OG3 is just classic late 40s, early 50s woman energy. I didn't get it until I hit that age myself, but man, it feels so good to prioritize yourself and your ride or die crew. And the best part? Not giving a damn what anyone thinks. Most of us get savage at this stage, and honestly, it feels great. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Kody stands by the open door, talking about leaving it open for his kids. Meanwhile, Robin's actions over the years scream she's slamming it shut with deadbolt locks. She might have started out subtle, but it didn't take long for her dislike of the other kids to become crystal clear. The OGs were too loud, too wild, and most importantly, not paying enough attention to her or her kids. Every time there was a family event or getaway, you could practically see her wince. She wasn't interested in what the other wives were dealing with, as long as they gave her what she wanted. And what she wanted was a house, her house, at any cost, even if it drained the family funds and put a strain on the larger family. Kody's big picture was her worst nightmare. She didn't want one big house. No, she'd rather let Christine take all the blame for the family's issues. Enter coronavirus, and Robin's disdain for the kids becomes even more apparent. She has zero interest in getting everyone together. In fact, this was her perfect opportunity to drill into her own kids that the rest of them, especially the older ones, just couldn't stand them. And then there's Brianna, pulling the classic mean girl act on Savannah at school, all while playing the victim card, just like her mom. When Truly came to visit, Robin made it clear she wasn't interested. It was as if she was saying, "Your daughter's here, you deal with her." No effort to make Truly feel welcome. No offer to find her a place to stay, just a cold shoulder. At a family event for Hunter, Robin acted like she was being dragged to the depths of hell. She didn't want to go, didn't want her kids to go, and once she was there, she spent the entire time grumbling. The cherry on top? The gift exchange, where she had to make it all about her, stir up some drama, and then cry about not being welcomed. The truth? She doesn't want anything to do with any of the OG kids, doesn't want them influencing her own kids. And if Kody wants a relationship with any of them, it's on his terms, just not under her roof. And yet, Robin still finds time to whine when she's actually invited to things. Then, somehow, she turns it all around and complains that she's not welcomed, all while isolating herself, Kody, and the kids from the rest of the family. Kody, that door is locked tighter than a vault, and Robin's the one holding the key. I couldn't agree more. Brianna's behavior towards Savannah is textbook Mean Girl 101, and it's no surprise. She learned it all from her mom. Back when all the wives were living in Leahy, there was more than enough space, but R/K couldn't figure out where Truly would sleep at the McMansion. It's baffling. The R/K family is selfish, and they're doing their kids no favors by keeping them isolated from the OG kids. Let's be real, if Kody went to a big family party without Robin and actually had a good time, it might make him start to resent her. But at this point, it's probably too late for that. I'm not sure how many of the kids would even want him around anymore. As for the OG kids befriending Robin's kids, it's probably not in their best interest either. They might start realizing the huge imbalance between the two families and see just how different their childhoods have been. Kody, you're really earning your place as one of the most hated men in America, aren't you? Let's recap, shall we? Not only did you abandon 3 wives of over 25 years, but you also walked out on your kids. And as if that wasn't enough, you replaced them. Classic Kody move. Well, today's the day we put you in your place and make sure you're held accountable for all your awful actions. Since you and Robin seem to be trying to rewrite history, let's make a list of everything you've done to make you infamous, and trust me, it's a long list. Everyone's welcome to add their own thoughts. Lord knows there's plenty more to come. Admitting on national TV that you were never in love with any of your 3 first wives. And what's better than that? You seem to take pride in it. Bravo, Kody, bravo. Stealing all the family's money from the pot to buy things that only benefit you and your quiet, shy wife. Real classy move. And there's more. Degrading your wives. They're just panting for your attention, right? And don't even get me started on your sons, who apparently just want to get their pencils wet. Miri? She has to ditch those bitches just to get a little peace of mind. Christine? You accused her of going on a vacation for Isabel's surgery. What a gem you are. Oh, and let's not forget you telling Isabel not to become a bitter housewife. So inspiring. And of course, there's always the favorite Kody Brown move, always referring to Christine and Janelle's kids as Christine's and Janelle's kids, never our kids. That's a level of distance even your worst enemies wouldn't have expected. Oh, and how could we overlook how you walked out on your kids after forcing them to leave their homes and schools in Las Vegas? All for what? To put your needs first, as usual. It's always about Kody, isn't it? If this list isn't enough, feel free to add to it. He definitely deserves every bit of it. The saga of Kody and Sol, how heartwarming. You know, it's so obvious that Kody gets more one-on-one time with Sol than with any of the other kids, right? Even the anthropology students have noticed. Like, it's not exactly subtle. I mean, who needs a whole army of children when you can just focus all your attention on one, especially if it's the new favorite? Let's not forget how the expert in the family, Sobin, tried to explain away the whole situation. Apparently, the reason Kody's glued to Sol's side is obviously because of his dental surgery. Not because Kody has an overwhelming urge to play favorites, nope. Sure, it's totally normal to carry your child around like they're the only one you've got, especially when the other kid, Truly, was practically abandoned in favor of this new obsession. And let's not gloss over Truly's childhood wisdom. She straight up rejected his hug for the cameras and refused his high five when she was little. No thanks, Daddy, because, honestly, even she knew he was a jerk. You've got to love that level of self-awareness. And now, of course, Kody's totally ignoring Sol. Surprise, surprise, he's just following his old pattern of ignoring all of his kids. Nothing new here, folks. And that whole dental surgery thing? Yeah, no, it wasn't even surgery. It was a light sedation for a few fillings. Totally standard stuff for toddlers who need some dental work. Not quite the life or death drama Kody tried to sell us on. But hey, why let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? Kody really knows how to keep the control game going, doesn't he? It's like he's determined to continue manipulating Meri, even after their relationship's long gone. It's so sad that she's letting him pull the strings. Though I guess her logic is, it's his stuff, he can ask for it back. But let's be honest. You can see how furious he is with the other wives for leaving. His anger was practically screaming when he made that comment about how he and Robin are allowed to move on because everyone else already did. Translation: you all had the audacity to leave me, so now I'm going to make you pay for it. But of course, he wraps it in this ridiculous package of, I'm glad they left, I never loved them anyway. They did me a favor. Classic Kody. Then there's his little snarky comment about not knowing why Meri ended up with his old t-shirts and sentimental trinkets. I don't know, Kody, maybe because you married her first, and she kept all your junk for you. Maybe instead of playing the confused, wounded puppy, you could just admit you didn't ask for your stuff back. Would have saved everyone a lot of trouble. But no, instead we get his passive-aggressive comments, like always. I mean, let's be real here. Robin was probably hoping to snag all that stuff, since she should have been there from the start. I bet she wanted it for Solomon, as some weird keepsake from Kody's past. Now, for all the people bashing Meri for still having feelings about Kody and cutting up the quilt, let's just break it down. Maybe she didn't want to send him the whole thing, or maybe burning it was a bit too final for her. The quilt had childhood mementos after all. Maybe she didn't want him to have those, or maybe, just maybe, chopping up something that represented their life together was a way of symbolically cutting him out of her life. But no, it's so much easier to call her stupid for still caring about him, right? I kept wondering though, maybe Meri's just more sentimental than the others. Christine was quick to pack up Kody's stuff, and Janelle didn't even have the space, living in an RV and all. But Meri, she's the one who held on, maybe trying to feel connected to the husband who'd already checked out. It almost feels like the whole thing with the ring. Kody's always looking for ways to push Meri away, even if it's through something as petty as old shirts and keepsakes. Robin's $1 million mansion? Yeah, I'll never understand how she justifies it. How does Kody not get why the other wives are furious? Robin has done nothing for that family except bask in all the perks. She didn't lift a finger to contribute. But of course, Kody's perfectly fine with it. Why? Because he gets to live there with her. Everyone else? Meh, doesn't matter. Remember Janelle? She was stuck in a freaking RV while Robin's living large. Honestly, who wouldn't prefer an RV over being trapped in a house with grody and soaping crybrows? I'd rather be homeless again than share air with those two. They should probably apologize to humanity for just breathing. Robin tries to justify this absurd mansion by saying almost all of her kids still live at home. But here's the thing, Christine and Janelle also had tons of kids living under one roof in homes that were, let's be real, way smaller. So yeah, not a solid excuse, Robin. I think she's just greedy with a serious shopping habit, whether it's doll collections or her obsession with having nice things. It's wild how little Kody has contributed since moving to Vegas. He hasn't mentioned working or getting a job, yet somehow he's perfectly content. At least Meri tried selling leggings. We all know MLMs are trash, but hey, she did something. Christine and Janelle dabbled in real estate. Christine quit, but Janelle stuck with it for a while. Meanwhile, Robin just had people helping with her kids so she could focus on sketching questionable jewelry. And Kody? He was just lounging around her place, doing nothing. But hey, no complaints from him, right? The contrast is pretty glaring. The other wives were out there trying to contribute while Robin, Well, she just lived in her shiny new mansion. So, Mykelti just dropped some super insightful thoughts on her Patreon, casually mentioning that Miri's mad because she lost Mykelti's downline. Oh, okay, that explains everything, right? And let's not forget Maddie's little business drama from a few years ago, where Miri allegedly told her she wasn't working hard enough. Gasp. It's so crazy that Maddie and Mykelti, who somehow managed to work with Miri before, now call her abusive. Real about face energy here, right? As I'm rewatching everything, I can't help but feel a little sad that they've forgotten the nice things Miri actually did for them. I mean, if you're not going to say exactly what makes her abusive, it seems a bit unfair to just throw that label out there. But hey, we all know the Browns love to throw therapy words around like confetti, so who's counting? Let's talk about Miri for a second. I'd argue she was probably the most consistent disciplinarian of the bunch. Kody was the fun parent, obviously, Christine was the softie, and Janelle. Well, Janelle was pretty much absent when it came to parenting. So yeah, with that many kids, someone had to play the bad cop just to try and keep some semblance of order. Someone had to be the mean one to at least attempt to keep the chaos to a minimum. Shocking concept, I know. Now, here's the thing about Mykelti. I'm having a hard time buying anything she's selling. She just conveniently ignores all the awful stuff Kody and Robin have done. Like, Kody straight up ignored Savannah at Christmas because he was mad at her mom. Is that not the textbook definition of terrible parenting? Or when he told Isabel to wait on her surgery because of coronavirus, then had the audacity to call her bitter if she was upset about it? Emotional abuse? Yeah, that checks out. Oh, and let's not forget how he didn't even help pay for her surgery. Just wow. But sure, let's focus on Miri's supposed abuses, right? All of that said, I do get why Mykelti might feel some kind of way about Miri, but it does make me question her angle. It's almost like she doesn't care about bad behavior unless it affects her directly. Maddie? Well, she seemed fine working for Miri until her downline didn't pan out, which makes me wonder why she was so okay with working for someone so allegedly awful in the first place. I do trust what Maddie says more than Mykelti, though, but that's not saying much at this point. Can we please talk about how Kody's shocked every single time someone doesn't want to hang out with him? Seriously, it's like clockwork. Each season, he looks genuinely surprised when one of the wives or kids isn't thrilled about spending time with him. Like, dude, we watched you bulldoze every single relationship you have. It's like showing up to a party you weren't invited to and acting shocked that no one's excited to see you. Here's a newsflash for you, Kody, you're the party pooper. Honestly, I think he's stunned because he can't fathom why anyone wouldn't want to bask in the glory that is him. I mean, the guy thinks he's the main character, and of course, in his world, that means everyone else should revolve around him. He's the sun, people. They're just lucky to be in his orbit. Just kidding, the man's terrible. Who else truly believes that Kody and Robin's little love story didn't start way before their innocent church encounter or that fateful BBQ? I mean, seriously, Robin's out there driving 5 hours one way at the crack of dawn just to attend a church or a BBQ. Yeah, totally believable. A single mom who couldn't even afford heat for her trailer suddenly decides to take a spontaneous trip to a church miles away. Please. Let's be real. They probably met online or through his cousin, who of course she just happened to know. And voila, she gets invited to a BBQ. So convenient that they made a plan together, knowing Miri would do anything to please Kody, and that she'd fall right into their little game. And let's not forget Miri catching on. 1 minute, they say they first locked eyes at the BBQ, then suddenly it's at church? Why was Robin all over him? Flirting at church? Sounds like someone had already marked her territory. I wouldn't be shocked if their little affair dates all the way back to when Robin was with Preston. She wasn't going to leave a man unless she had someone else lined up. Come on, she's a mooch, with no job and no skills, but a serious addiction to shopping. She wouldn't have ditched Preston unless she had another supplier ready to go. Now, I'm really curious about what the other wives think about all this. What was Kody up to in the year before he allegedly met Robin? Was he suddenly traveling a lot, looking distracted, or spending way too much time on his phone? I bet he was. These two played everyone. They convinced Mary to go through with the divorce, then talked all the wives into selling their Vegas homes, giving Robin most of the money. And now they're living large while the others are left in the dark about the family's finances and land. Here's what I think happened. Word spread in their community that Kody was looking for a fourth wife, and hey, he's got a reality show on the horizon. My understanding is that Christine was the one who reached out to someone in the business to pitch the idea of a reality show. The production company wasn't impressed with the Browns' drama, so they suggested adding a fourth wife to spice things up. Pretty sure the footage from the first episode was just from their trial shoot. I'm convinced the family was desperate. They put the word out that they were about to be cast for a reality show and were on the hunt for a fourth wife. Enter Robin, who was more than eager to travel 5 hours to meet Kody. Oh, what a coincidence. She was desperate for money and security, and the allure of reality TV fame was too much to resist. With some help from Alice's coaching, Robin went all in, pulling out every stop to make sure she caught Kody's attention. Guess she really put her charm to work. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.